Welcome to our PL Possibilities series. These videos have been created to assist teachers in improving their Canvas skills for the purposes of teaching and learning. This video is part of the feedback playlist. An overview of the feedback playlist is displayed on the screen. This video will focus on how to create a rubric within Canvas. Rubrics can be attached to discussions, assignments, and quizzes. To add a rubric to an assignment, click plus rubric. By default, all new rubrics come with the title of some rubric. Make sure you use a meaningful title to ensure that you can find this rubric again if you want to reuse it. If you want to use an existing rubric from this course or another course, click Find a Rubric and you'll be able to view all rubrics that you've created prior to this. By default, we actually have a criterion already added that we can edit. If we wanted to have a range of marks, we can click this range button. And you'll notice that instead of having 5 points and 0 points, we have 5 to 0. We can edit the criteria using a pencil, and we can add additional ratings with the plus. Or we can delete the entire criterion. In this case, I'm going to add a criterion each time. It's going to be a new one. My first description is going to be the criterion, so it's going to be around food because mine's going to be around breakfast in bed. I can provide a long description here, but because I'm going to choose to create an analytic rubric at this point, I'm going to leave this blank. And I'm going to hit Create Criterion. I want to use a 4-point scale for my ratings. So I'm going to edit my first one. Instead of using full marks, I'm going to use the word exemplary. For my rating description, I'm going to type in what needs to be added. To add an additional rating, I'm going to hit the plus. My rating title in this case is going to be accomplished. I'm going to enter the detail for my rating description, and I'm going to update the rating. My second rating will have the title of developing, and my rating description will be added, and I'll update that rating. The last one, because I don't need to have 5, I'll simply edit. Once I've edited the last rating, I'll click Update Rating. I now have a food criteria with my details for each of those ratings. After you've added your initial criteria, you can add additional criterion either by duplicating or creating new ones. They don't have to have the same number of ratings. You can click a Find an Outcome and utilise the Australian curriculum subjects, TAS subjects, and VET subject criteria that are already loaded into Canvas. A couple of options that you can have at this point is to choose whether or not you'll write free-form comments when assessing students. By ticking this box, it removes all the ratings to enable you just to leave comments related to this criterion. This could be useful in the initial setup at the beginning of a year where you are talking to students about what is expected and co-constructing the ratings. You can remove points from the rubric so that students don't actually focus on the point score that they get, they focus on the comments or the description of the ratings. And you can choose not to post outcomes results to the Learning Mastery Gradebook. You can then choose Create Rubric. You have now attached a rubric to this assignment. Remember, rubrics can be assigned to discussions, assignments and quizzes and can be used by learners to support their understanding about what is expected and what evidence they should provide of their learning and their understanding. As a teacher, you can use this rubric within the Speed Grader to provide quick feedback and to start the conversation around what the learner can do to improve or what evidence they need to further provide to achieve a higher rating. To add a rubric to a discussion, click on Discussions. Rubrics can be added to marked discussions. By clicking on the 3 dots, we can click Add Rubric, and we have the same view for creating a rubric that we saw with assignments. To add a rubric to a quiz, open the quiz, edit the quiz, and click on the 3 dots. Click Show Rubric, and because there hasn't been a rubric already added, add a rubric. You can now see the same view that we have for assignments. You can now add a rubric to your quiz. Thank you for watching this PL Possibilities series video.